Back now in Rio with Michael Phelps, whose meet here has come to a close, and we assume so too has his Olympic career. In London...
That is the first question.
Yeah, you're shocked by that, right? In London, you won 4 golds, 2 silvers. Here, 5 golds, 1 silver. So statistically, that's only marginally different, but emotionally, a huge difference, right?
This is where I am now is exactly how I want to finish my career. I was able to come back and able to do things that I wanted to accomplish. And looking back at this week, it's been nothing but a fun, exciting week that this is the sort of cherry on top of the cake that I wanted. And couldn't ask for anything different, and I'm looking forward to moving forward.
Obviously, it's apples and oranges when you talk about different sports, but Kerry Walsh-Jennings comes in as a favorite. People had anointed Simone Biles as the best female gymnast ever before she did anything, and so far as we speak, she's validated all that. With you, they knew you'd be good. They didn't know how good because of age 31. At what point in this meet did you say to yourself, I got it?
I think it was after the 200 fly. Obviously having a great relay split, the first event.
And the 4x1.
The 4x1.
It was the best of your life, right?
Yeah, going 47-1, I was like, okay, we're gonna have a good meet. And after winning the 200 fly, I was like, okay, this could really happen. And then at the 200 IM, I was like, we are on target. And I remember taking the last couple of strokes in the 100 fly, and I was like, I knew I was semi in the race. I knew I was behind. But the last couple of strokes, I was like, I wonder if it's going to be perfect or if not. And afterwards, that's how it was supposed to be. And in my head then, I was like, it is perfect. And this meet is going exactly how it's supposed to. And 28 medals is still really hard to wrap my head around. And I was having the conversation with Nicole last night about it. It's insane. But as a kid, I set out to do something that nobody had ever done before. And I can look back at my career and say, I did it.
So last night, after the 28th medal and the 23rd gold, your relay teammates were all chanting, 4 more years, 4 more years. Would you like to flatly once again tell them and the world, no?
I've had a lot of 4 more years chants in the last couple of days, and this is what I came back for. And at the age of 31, I'm happy to start moving forward to a new chapter in my life. And I am retiring. This is it. And that was the last race ever. And I think the biggest change between now and London was, going into my last race in London, I was just looking forward to it being over. Like, I didn't really have, I wasn't really swimming that great in my opinion, and I wasn't fully involved with it. And this time around was completely different. I walked into the pool yesterday, and I felt the tears coming already. When I walked into the team area, I was like, this is the last stretch I'm ever, this is Keen Dog's last stretch he's going to give me, and this is my last pre-race routine, my last time putting on a racing suit. So there's so many last, and walking over to the warm-up pool, I started getting teary-eyed because it's my last one, and with everything that Bob and I have gone through and we've been able to accomplish, it felt good, and that one felt special, more special than London, and I said to him, I was like, we're still going to have this again. You're going to be on the pool deck with your glasses, not being able to hide the tears, and I have goggles on, and I can hide all of them. So it was just a good experience that we had and shared together, and I think the memories that we have built in this Olympics are much more meaningful than anything we've ever built.
So you've answered it, not just logically, but emotionally. But you understand the backdrop. Jordan came back. You came back. Brett Favre came back. People even this season are saying, how can David Ortiz leave when he's putting up MVP numbers? Maybe he should reconsider. So there are people who are going to say, I'll believe it when I look at that pool deck in Tokyo and he's not there.
There's no better way to walk out. Walking out being a 5-time Olympic medalist, a 5-time Olympic gold medalist here, and a silver medalist here. That's it. I can't write the ending any better.
There's lots of ways to try to put this in perspective. We're going to give you a few. Let's assume that Michael Phelps was his own country. And here's the list of swimming medals on the men's side. You would be 3rd behind the United States and Australia and ahead of Japan if you were an island. They say no man is an island, but if you were an island country, you'd be 3rd.
I saw some of those stats, throughout the week. It's wild. I mean, it's insane because this whole thing started with one goal and one dream, and we've been able to do things that I don't know when I'll be able to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
You know, these things that we've been able to accomplish with 28 medals, 23 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze in 5 Olympics. This is something I wanted, something that nobody had ever done before, and we went out and we did it.
Here's the next one for context's sake. And obviously there's an apples and oranges aspect to it because there's more medals on offer in swimming and in gymnastics and in other sports. And the Olympics have changed to where people can be professionals. And the 1940 and 44 Olympics were eliminated because of World War II. So we know all those differences. But nonetheless, here's the list of gold medal winners. And several bold-faced names are tied behind you with 9. But that's a long way behind you.
I mean, I think one thing that, you know, for me was my longevity that I had in my career and the desire that I had to win and the determination that I had, you know, especially with this Olympics. You know, I think that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing if somebody can do what I've done. You know, there's probably a kid out there dreaming today of doing something that nobody has ever done before, like I was 20 years ago. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing that moment and it'll just be a cool journey to watch.
You've talked about changing the sport, and you've talked about how it brings a smile to your face to see a picture of a little Katie Ledecky or a little Joe Schooling looking up to you, and now they're in the same pool as you. Do you feel like well, there it is. Do you feel like you've truly changed the sport, or just that it's really, really popular for 2 weeks every 4 years?
I think we've changed the sport. I think I've changed the sport. You know, and I will continue to do that even though I'm not competing anymore. You know, being able to share the team with Katie and you know, competing against Joe. Ryan Murphy last night showed me a photo of him and I from 2004. Other athletes saying they've had posters on the wall of me as a kid. You know, that shows that I have changed the sport and I've been able to do things that I dreamt of. You know, this is a dream come true, and being able to set my mind to something and know that nothing will stand in my way. That's what I've done, and that's what I will continue to do.
When you're around them, and I know you're acquainted with them and in some cases pretty good friends with them, do you feel like you're part of the group when you're with Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Serena or LeBron, the bold-faced sports names of your generation, and there are others? Do you feel like you're in that group? Part of them? Do you feel like it's a fraternity?
I mean, I feel like we've all obviously done amazing things in the sports field. You know, I don't know if I feel a part of them. I guess I probably should. But just a little kid with a dream, and you know, but to me it still sounds crazy because, you know, swimming has grown so much. But if you look at the sports in the U.S., football is so big, baseball is so big. You know, hockey. We have all these major sports, basketball. You know, these guys are on TV every night, and you know, we are in every 4. I mean, we compete throughout 4 years, but we have one time every 4 years where we're on the biggest stage in sports. So you know, it's I don't know. It's weird to say that, but it's a pretty cool group to be in, and I think I saw all of us who retired this year. What is it? It's me, Duncan, Kobe, Jeff Gordon.
Peyton Manning, and all they did. They had a stat of all the highlights. A-Rod, we think.
A-Rod. So, you know, a lot of greats in the sport world are retiring, and you know, it's cool to have swimming in that topic. We never had that before.
What did it mean to you to be the flag bearer? That's selected by all your fellow American Olympians.
You know, that's a dream come true. A once in a lifetime opportunity. I never had the chance to walk in opening ceremonies because I always competed on the first day. And you know, someone came up to me in training camp and they were like, "Would you want to carry the flag?" And I was like, "Yeah. I mean, if I had the chance, that would be amazing. You know, to be able to lead, you know, my country out into the 2016 Olympics here in Rio." I was like, "Yeah, why not? That would be so cool." And being there, I remember walking down the tunnel to come out, and everybody. I mean, it was probably 10, 12 feet wide. And the USA chant started, and I had chills up my entire body, and just so much excitement of how close we were together. And we walked out as a team. I think that was something that I will forever remember and forever be honored to be nominated as the flag bearer.
You were just a kid in Sydney 15 years old in 2000, but you were a medal winner and a star in Athens 4 years later. But you told your coach, Bob Bowman, I really don't feel part of the group. I'm set apart in some way, either by personality or whatever it may be. But now, not only are you the top individual, but I get a sense that you're more connected to your teammates than you've ever been.
Yeah. You know, some of the things, you know, being able to be a captain is something that I always wanted. And I was like, oh, no one's going to vote for me. Nobody ever votes for me for captain. And I got it this time around. And you know, I was able to kind of share some of the things that have helped me over the last 2 years, you know, to get back to where I want to be. And you know, one of the meetings that we had in particular was talking about, you know, every now and then you hear like a bunch of negative comments or like, you know, somebody complaining about this or that. And in training camp, I remember talking to him and I was like, guys, you know, we're getting ready to go into the Olympics. This is what we have to do. If there's a negative comment, keep it to yourself. Because the more positiveness that we have as a team, the better off we're going to be. And as soon as I said that, we all became closer. And we started really getting going. And then we came here and the ball started rolling on day one and we just continued. You know, I've been able to joke around with everybody on the team. I've been able to talk to everybody on the team. You know, some people who didn't really have the best meet, was able to talk to them and tell them to keep their head up. And you know, they want to go again, they know what they have to do and use it as motivation. So, you know, hopefully some of the things that I've been able to share with these guys will carry on through their career. And I've told a lot of them, like I have in the past, I'm here. They need anything to reach out. You know, this is a passion of mine for, you know, the sport of swimming is a passion of mine. And I want to see these guys continue to grow and continue to succeed. So any input that I can give them and any help that I can give them, I want to. And it truly was an honor to be a USA swimming captain.
And by the way, you just alluded a little bit to the changes in your own life, and we're not avoiding that here. It's all up on NBCOlympics.com because we talked about it at length in Omaha during the trials, and Tim Layden had a terrific story in Sports Illustrated about that. So here we're in the aftermath of a successful Olympics, so we moved on to a different topic, but if people are interested in that topic, it's still there and they can check it out. So many people have said to me how much they'd like to meet you. Even people here in the broadcast center. Gee, when he comes in, can you introduce me to him? Who would you like to meet that you haven't met? Who in sports would thrill you if he or she walked through this door and said, hey, how you doing?
You put me on the spot. I was stoked to meet Djokovic when I passed him. You know, like as soon as I passed him in the village, I was like, oh my God. Like I went upstairs and I was like, oh guys, I was like, I just met Djokovic. I was like, that was awesome. Being able to get to know Tony Parker over the last couple of weeks was really cool. Being in San Antonio, he came by.
Just for those who don't know, basketball player, San Antonio Spurs, playing here for France,
yes,
which came close to beating the U.S. today.
And they got it. The USA got it done. Henrik Stenson is someone I really want to meet. A huge
golfer.
golf fan.
You haven't met him yet, right?
I haven't met him.
I bet you this can be arranged.
I'm sure we can get it. I honestly don't know. You know, I've been able to meet some of the greatest sports histories, the greatest sports figures in history. You know, I'm obviously a diehard sports fan, and anybody that I come across, I'm usually running home and telling Nicole or calling Nicole if she's not with me and like freaking out. I'm still a kid in that sense. You know, just it's exciting to meet other athletes from different sports. You know, Peyton Manning was somebody that I was pumped to meet when I met him 9 years ago. That was one of the coolest conversations I've ever had. So I look forward to hopefully having the opportunity to meet some other sports legends in my future. Maybe on the golf course to get out and play some and enjoy it.
I remember having a conversation with Derek Jeter a month or so after his final game. He got a game-winning base hit in his last at-bat at Yankee Stadium. And I said, you know, it's one thing to feel good about success, but one of the best feelings in life is to not have regrets. You sit here as a man who doesn't have regrets. That's one of the best feelings you can ever have.
It's, you know, that's why I wanted to come back. I didn't want to have a what if 15, 20 years down the road. And I know now that I won't have that because I was able to come back and able to do what I did here. And that is the best, hands down way to finish a career. And I got to do it with my son here, and he got to watch. Sleep some of the time, but we'll be able to share these memories with him when he grows up.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Bob.
Athletically and especially personally.
Thanks, Bob.
It's been a great pleasure to watch you and cover you over all these years.
Thank you very much.
Michael Phelps, back to Rio after this.